Good morning, my club. Get a little sunrise. Didn't blow it out too bad. We're at On Anchor, sitting here in Daytona Beach. Um, that would be considered Daytona Shores over there. Daytona Beach Shores. Yep, Contiki's over there. We moved up. Not too, really, this, if you look on the map, you're not really too far from where we were yesterday. Let's see. Good morning, AO 1968. Good morning, other side of Florida says hello. Navarre, yep, on the Panhandle. Good morning, Christopher. John B, morning there. Thank you so much. It's a nice morning. It was a pretty nice night, other than actually before I went to sleep. Maybe I had fell asleep. I don't remember, but I got up and I noticed Kontiki was much closer than it was whenever I laid down, and so I'd pulled a little bit. The anchor had pulled a little bit. The winds were picked up a little bit. Nothing terrible. And I debated it, and when you swing through the night, when you're on the hook, you usually move around depending on what your tides are and what the wind is. So that sailboat that's right behind me here had moved, and it doesn't appear to have anybody on it. It was really close off my port side. It's probably 3-4 boat lengths. So I was like, the wind wasn't expected to turn me like that, but I wasn't gonna take a chance. So I got up and I moved up about, I don't know, 100 yards, something like that, and then dropped anchor and snubbed it off, and then I was fine the rest of the night. So it's a nice calm morning, as you can see. Turn this around, let y'all see a little bit of this. No, that thing's going to be blocked. I'm going to turn it back. So I got a new phone. Good morning from Australia. Good morning, Mike. Looks like a beautiful morning. It is. Captain Tripp. Yes, it is. It's nice and calm this morning. Like to wake up like that, not rolly. It laid down pretty early, so pretty good night's sleep. Other than I got this one of my older phone that I have, my alarm system for if it drags the anchor, what have you, it keeps losing GPS signal, and it makes you think that you're dragging your anchor, but really what when you get up and actually look at it, it says losing GPS signal. And I got it as far as forward inside the boat where it seems to be unblocked towards the sky, but it still does it, and that freaks out every time it goes off. So I have a new phone. I think I told you that one of the reasons to getting this is I want to improve our live at fives, which I'll talk about, so that we can have some call-in features and some pretty cool stuff, and have one phone which will end up being this phone, and has a better camera apparently on it. And I think this is the first time I've used this, but that is a question. How is the audio on this, guys? Do you hear any wind noise? Because there is a little wind behind it, and it's a new phone. I'm wondering. This is the first time I've used it. Just doing a wind check. But anyways, it's going to enhance it. I also needed more gigs of internet, obviously being on the loop. So through my son-in-law's account, it was more expensive to add it on mine, but through my son-in-law's account, because they got up to 4 phones now, it was quite cheap. Morning from Pensacola, Missouri, Jared. Morning, Captain from Sarasota. Country Gambino. Let's see. Hello from Illinois. Morning, Jarrett. Good morning from North Carolina coast. We'll be working that way. Morning from Michigan. What's going on, Mike? Good morning from Asheville, North Carolina. Kayak 7 Seas. Good morning, sir. Arthur. Good morning, Captain Mike. Tony. Let's see. How would you be getting these mug clubs live after they go for members only? So there's a setting that I'm gonna enact on YouTube, and whenever I do it, I'm probably gonna make a video about it, and that's coming fairly soon. So you'll know whenever it happens. No worries. You'll definitely, those that have purchased mugs, good point. If you want to purchase one, if you want to see content, additional content like this, then we'll be go on michaeljsteen.com and purchase a mug. Thank you for some of the recent mug purchases too. I appreciate that, guys. It helps. Yes, Tony says it's windy, a little wind. Dang it. All right, I'm about to work on getting that's probably going to be better than. I'll work on getting a windsock for it. All right, kayak, slight rumble, not bad. The audio is good. The picture is noticeably better. Yes, it is. That camera, it definitely is. It looks like it's pretty high def. It looks like to me. That camera making me look good, ain't it? I'm just kidding. But the wind is audible. Okay, I moved it this way, so you probably shouldn't hear it too much more. All right. Small amount of buffering. Yeah, I can't really help with that. There's going to be times, my Mud Club members, y'all, if you're seeing a lot of buffering, it's obviously out in the water. Usually you got pretty good service, but y'all remember, if you're seeing something, let me know. We'll just pretty much got to end the stream. If you don't have enough, you just, there's not much I can do with it. Morning, Bill. Bill says very little bit from Ocala. Morning, Mike. Oriental, North Carolina. Byron. Gene. Hey, Mike from Montreal. Sounds good. Thank you, sir. Does your take into open water in Atlantic or Gulf at any time? Seems unlikely. ICW is everywhere. I've seen that on Facebook. Jacksonville is training. They said there's going to be a lot more of that. So I imagine we're going to have a lot of these. Probably couldn't see it on camera. I'm sure you heard it. It's kind of cool. We're going to see a lot of that up in Jacksonville. Air Station, Jacksonville. Good morning from Dunellen. AO 1960. Freddie. Oh, your comment got blocked on for some reason. Oh, Freddie, good morning from Daytona. All right, sir. Some wind, but not too bad. Good morning from Daytona Beach, JC. So you must be right behind me, JC. 54 degrees on Long Island. Whew, still chilly. Although I seen somewhere about like middle part of the country up really high. It was warmer there than it was, I think here. I think it was. Wow. There's a plane. You probably won't be able to see it, but there's a plane coming in at the airport. Damn, he's at the same height them fighter jets were at. We just passed right by there. Damn. That's crazy. Let's see. Let me go back to that question. That's a good question. Does your route take you into the open waters in the Atlantic or Gulf at any time? It does. It can take us in the Atlantic if we have good seas, as the windy as it's been 3 to 5s and plus. We don't dare do that. But definitely want to do a little bit of outside navigation because you make up some good miles, but it's going to have to really be pretty, I can tell you. But yeah, we'll try to do that. Definitely when we are coming back down in a few years, whenever that is, you come out in the Gulf of Mexico, you have to. There's a section when you come out at Mobile, if you come down to Tennessee Tom, where you can pretty much hug the coast, and there's a couple places that you can go in, like Steinhatchee and what have you, if you got into some bad weather. But the Gulf is very well known for being calm at times, so you just pick your days and do that. There is a place when you go up north, whenever we get up north near Cape May, and you're going up, you turn, if we come down the Delaware River, which I expect we will, and then you turn into Cape May, and you're going up to ICW, and then there's a place that you have to come out called Manasquana, and then go back in at the river at New York. There's no option there. So I did it, like I said, when I bought that boat up in Niantic, Connecticut in a 23, and it wasn't no problem, although that boat ran a little faster. But it won't be a problem at all. But yeah, that was a good question. Let's see. Good morning from the Lone Star State. Morning from Ohio. Plan for the storm later this week. Maybe a lot of rain. Yeah, I seen it last night. I'm starting to watch a little internet news on Jacksonville. As I work up, I like to see, I try to find me some internet channels and watch a little bit, of course, catch the local weather or whatever's happening locally. I did see that the guy, at least meteorologist on that particular channel, said some of the models show it separating as it gets right near Jax, so which is pretty close to where we are. Our plan is to be in the St. Augustine by the end of the week and get on a mooring ball. So if so, no problems. It doesn't look like it's going to be bad from what I can tell, but definitely keeping our eyes on it. Darn radio up there, guys. Good morning, brother. Have a great day. Joe, thank you, sir. You too. Noise is better. Good. If you get caught in a storm, I'd love to see the video from the inside of the helm at times. I have some coming. If you want to see a decent one, I already made a video back in the day. I might stop that. It's aggravating. That's that AIS on my radio. Y'all stand by. Enjoy the calm water for a minute. Alrighty. Turn it back around here. I like doing these lives or these mud clubs here on the deck. It's really nice. Let's see here. I was talking about the storm. If you go back and look on my channel, let's see. Should be, I think that could have been 2019, that trip, when I was approaching back near Tampa, I got caught in one of those sails that blow up right over you, which is the part of Tampa, if you are basically the west coast, east coast as well, but more on the west coast. Storms will blow up right on you, and right at the sea, right at the seashore, it'll blow up. And one got me. It tore my top back, but I was on the boat and had the camera running whenever that happened. I tell the story, guys, I've been in a water spout before off Marco Island, and it was bad. Like, I'm sure I had 60-mile-an-hour winds, and it was just lucky I didn't have anybody on the boat. It was really real bad. Good Times was definitely at her limit, no doubt about it. I couldn't have took much bigger waves, and the problem with the waves were the intervals were very short together, which means you don't get over the wave before your bow. The next wave's there, and you start dipping and going under, and it's pretty scary. Hello from Bobkin Creek, Chesapeake Bay. Looking forward to being up in that country, sir. See, does your route take you? I think we already got that one. Good morning from Kansas, Jim. Here from Michigan. I won't believe today is going to be in the 79 degrees. Yeah, I think that's what I saw. That's crazy, ain't it? That's cool though. Happy for you. Boat floating. Hello from Wisconsin. Morning, Eric. Camera much better. Yes, sir. It's a new camera. It's a S20, Samsung S20. Morning from Bay City, Michigan. Any plans to stop here in the Great Lakes? Definitely. Again, if y'all want to stay up to date as we get close, put in your go drop an email to me where you are at mike@michaeljsteen.com, and we'll mention to you via that. Can you use the mic from before with the adapter? That's what he used on his phone. I'll try to do that. So I have one, and it actually has a place. I need to get an adapter, which is not so easy when you're on the boat, but that plugs into where you charge, and it's supposed to be better, but I'm working on it. Hopefully have it solved during the next couple of days. So we'll see. Howdy from South Texas, David Trapster. Good morning, sir. Greetings from the Southwest UK. Glad to see you here. Producer Richard will be joining the team again. What happened to Ken Bahrain? Not seen him for a while here. Okay. So without going into detail, I don't know about Ken. I don't know why he said some very negative stuff on here, and I just deleted him. We're not going to have that. He said some stuff that was just untrue, and I really don't know what happened to him. I don't know. All I can tell you is I got a bunch of emails, and they were within hours of each other, and it went downhill like that. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I don't deal with that kind of stuff. So anyways, great. I don't know. I just can't tell you. I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. Keep it coming. We'll see you here on the Outer Banks. Yes, sir, Alan. Be looking forward to it. Top of the morning to you. 80 degrees yesterday here in Chicagoland. Very nice. I'm guessing y'all splashing them and already splashed them posts. I got a few channels I follow up there because I'm kind of interested. There goes those jets again. You'll be hearing that a lot. Telling you, there's an airport right there, and that's an approach. I'm surprised they're flying like that. Maybe I can see one of them planes coming in. You can see them at the same time. Nathan says, so you boating full time now, or are you still doing side business? Good morning from Palm Beach. So I'm done with all my jobs, but I do have to go back periodically. Things are happening. So for instance, that's a good thing for me to shamelessly promote my book launch next week. Not shamelessly, I'm proud of it. But so I'll go back for that. Next, I got to run to South Carolina. My brother died. It's been a while. So my brother died, and I got to go for a wake up in there. So it's periodically things, but you may not even realize it when I'm not here. I'll try to do some mug clubs at some different interesting places, but so I know Marty's driver's license are he has to have them renewed, and I think he's going back so he can take care of that. We're gonna together, but we'll give you updates on how that's working and what's happening. But no, I'm done with the jobs. It's all boating, and I'm so happy for it. I was really getting tired, to be honest with you. All this work. I'm gonna adjust this over just a second. Hang on. If I don't cut you off, I better not. I'm gonna cut it off. Good question though. Seth, hey Michael, subscribe. Was in Okeechobee the same time of y'all when y'all were crossing the lake. You guys are awesome. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Good morning. Hello from Kansas, Wayne. Good morning. Is the cops chasing Marty on his jet kayak? No, I don't think so. I don't believe so. I think he's safe. Good morning, Michael. Good morning from Delaware. Good morning, sir. Morning from Ocala, Matt. Are you guys going to do a meetup in Daytona? Trying to plan it, dude. Like, so what I didn't say is, um, let me tell you about the story why we didn't do a live at 5, and I was getting to it. So we were, and I hadn't talked to Marty this morning yet, so I don't even know the answer to this question. So it'll be news once we talk and we're moving trucks and stuff. But whatever. But let me get back to the story. So we needed these gaskets, certain type of gaskets, and I found a place back down in Port Orange, just south of us, and I went Monday, but they had one. They didn't have what we needed, so they ordered them and was going to be there by the next day. You know, they pretty much always come at noon, they said. So we held up down there, went to the city dock, tied up. Actually had a couple subscribers come by, knew we were there, and waited for them to call. Well, it was up near noon and I left. I needed a couple little things, so I decided to run to the store. But long story short, it took a lot longer than what they thought. And then when we finally got the gaskets and we put them on the motors, from what I know, and Marty might be on here looking, I don't know if he's looked this morning, but hopefully we solved his water leaking issue on the starboard engine. We'll see. And so it was late leaving, and so we started heading north, and we had a spot that we thought we might be able to do it, but when we got there later yesterday, there was boats everywhere. It was a boat ramp, and that's kind of like where we try to do it so that we can come in, you know, up to the boat ramp. But that was not happening. It was way too many boats. They went real shallow, like I was going to pull past a boat ramp at one of the bridges down there. I forget the name of it, but it went to 3 feet like that, and I'd stopped, backed up, had me a little nervous there for a minute. And then my starboard engine shut off again. So I got a problem of, I think it's a wire. I'll go into detail when I figure it out. I'm sure that's probably what it is, the same one that I replaced the coil on. But my guess is there's a wire loose or something is not powering that coil. So long story short, my engine shut down. We're still able to move, got another port engine, and then we moved and got up here after 5. So we weren't able to do it. So that was the answer to that question, hopefully. Let's see. Back up. Let's see. Morning. Good morning from Delaware, Ocala. That was the question. So to answer the question to meet up in Daytona, I'm not exactly sure. We may get to, I'm looking last night. These things are hit and miss, because what looks good on, I use several methods to try to figure out where we're going to stay. And what looks good on the maps when you get there, just like yesterday, it looked deep, like we were going to be able to pass that public boat ramp and hang out there until the crowds died down. I expected to be boaters there, but it got shallow, and so now we're we're far good ways off of this dock here. We're near a public ramp, but we're probably a couple hundred yards from it, so it's kind of not very conducive to us being able to come in there. So that's answered the question. When I know, I will tell you. I promise you that. Matter of fact, y'all will be the first to know. Morning from Buffalo. Finally starting to warm up here. Good. Glad to hear that. Good morning from Michigan. Nathan Crew, thank you very much. Beers on me. Thank you, sir. We'll have one later on you. I'll call it the Nathan Netty Light. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Finally caught you live. Beautiful day from San Diego. No Jenny running. Solar must be working. Well, it's definitely charging. I usually, what normally happens, just so y'all don't know, but so I will normally run the Jenny through the night. She'll run on about a gallon of gas. It's a Honda EU 2000. See that? Probably gonna get a second one. But she'll run them all night long on about a gallon of gas, which will keep my fan running. Last night it was cool enough I wouldn't have needed it. But more importantly, it keeps the, obviously helps with the refrigerator, keeps it cold. And I'll be honest with you, it's here on the back deck. I like the white noise of it on top of me vibrating, because sometimes you get a lot of noises outside. But I do run the Jenny most of the time. I'm planning on, FYI, I'm planning on running it shortly, and then of course I try to turn it off, during these events. I got some ham and some baby lima beans I'm gonna throw in the crock pot. So whatever we're doing, as soon as I get done here, so that this evening we're gonna have some very good baby lima beans. Those that ain't got one, get you one. MichaelJSteen.com mugs. Thank you. So yeah, good question there. Yes, the solar is working. So an interesting thing I had about that though. Hold on there, camera. I recognize my batteries, house batteries, were dragging when I cranked the engines, and I look back at the solar, and I got a little controller where I can see it, and everything is in the back bunk mounted up against a wall, which I'm going to do a video about. And it was on. It was showing like 29 volts. Everything looked normal to me. But I knew something was up, and when I opened the hatch, I looked for it, and I got two separate battery chargers, and the one was off. I'm like, what the crap? And I look at it. I'm like, I get out my testers, and I start, the wires are not hot going to it or whatever, and so I start backing up the actual wire going that I have one of them wired up, but the second one, it wasn't hot. So anyways, I reached up there and I cut off that controller. The darn thing kicked off, and then we'll cut it right back on, and then the battery charger came on. So I don't know why that did that. It showed like it was on. So the only thing probably was the inverter tripped off, but that inverter, that wire I'm telling you about that shows you that little panel, shows you that's where the power for that's coming from. So that was strange, but anyways, it was short, just push a button. So all right, so let's see. We're about to get a big Midwestern thunderstorm rolling in right now. I got to see several water spouts when I was stationed out of Mayport. Yep. Well, y'all be safe. I know them last ones was pretty rough. Riding along from northern Maine, still with you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Good morning, Chris, Sean, Tim from Pennsylvania, Brett from Galveston, Caitlin, or Colton, I'm sorry, Burleson, Texas. Let's see, Mike, I can't see the numbers. Mike, are you going through the Dismal Swamp Creek and around into Norfolk? Yes, I absolutely plan on doing that. I've been through there. What an experience. If you have, you know what I'm talking about. Marty has not, so I think we should do it so he gets to see it. However, the difference in that is the last time I did it, I was in a faster boat, and we could make it in a day, but we'll have to push hard and push steady and long day. Probably a good 8-hour day to get through there, but you know what? I mean, if we had to anchor up in, we'd anchor up in. Good morning from Buffalo, New York. Easy for me to say. Jay Hen, thank you so much for your Mike Wentz. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Jay Hen. I appreciate that. I hope to have that problem solved, and I will mention you in that. Looks like we'll be heading back to Florida next month, going to keep an eye out where you are and on our way. All right, give me a heads up, Arthur, when y'all heading back. We'll be somewhere. Can't say where. Question: what does Christopher ask? What does Marty do during the Mug Club? Does doing his morning thing, like coffee and the dog. Sometimes he's taking the dogs on a trip. Sometimes he's trying to get his jump on his videos. So much goes into that. There's so much time. You got. So one of the challenges now is we got tons of content, and you're trying to go through that content to figure out what you're going to show and you know, what you're gonna video is gonna be. So there, I'm telling you, it's unbelievable how fast the days can go by. So let me show you something. See that plane? Let's see if y'all can see it. Did y'all see that? Try where them jets came through a minute ago for the second time. It's crazy. So there's always something to do, and the days can go by extremely fast. So we have a subscriber coming to meet up, take me back to my truck somewhere around 10:30. Whenever we get done here, I'm gonna start working on my engine, see can I figure out what is up with that. And but yeah, it just, man, the days fly by. It's crazy. You wouldn't think it. Russell said, or let's see, let me back up. Seth, condolence on your brother. My brother's heavenly anniversary was yesterday. Sorry to hear that. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's one of them things. It's the thing about life. The older we get, the more we're going to deal with that. That's true. Nice sailboat behind you, Russell says. Yeah, that particular one, it was. He must have a, I noticed last night, he must have a light like Ford that's on an automatic. If you walk forward, it comes on and it brightens up the deck, which had me thinking about mounting one on the front of Good Times, because like last night, I have a headlamp that I put on whenever I go out on the deck. But I do have one that is also has a little solar panel on it, and I could mount it probably forward, and then when I walk out there, it'll come on automatically. So I may do that. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, it's a very nice boat. Trampster said, sad about the Ken, must have deleted. I didn't delete anything other than stop him from saying stuff, and I just don't understand why. I don't get it. Good morning from Chattanooga. Good morning from Summit North Marina in Delaware. Half Moon, California in the house. Good morning, Jonathan. Freddie, friend. Little gas cash. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Freddie. I appreciate you. All right. I appreciate you. Thanks a lot. Every little bit helps. It really does. Good morning, Jesse in Tampa. Good morning. Morning from Inglewood, Roger. Jonathan, do you ever use an electric trolling motor on a skiff or tender? You will probably see that soon. I got a Catch 120 that I actually bought from Marty, so you can probably see it on his video somewhere, where he mounted a little trolling motor or engine mount. I think it was for a trolling motor, if I remember correctly, on the back of that, and I plan on bringing that, I think, on the next trip. So I'll have two Catch 120s on here, and so yeah, I think you'll be seeing that real soon. But yeah, because when you get on some of these wider areas, you know, if it's half a mile away, whatever, and you like to cut on that trolling motor and shoot across on over there in some of these bigger waters. So I do have one, and I plan on doing it soon. But yes. Do you worry about CO2 when you're running and you're generating at night and sleeping? No, Eric, I don't. So the cabin I sleep in usually is below me, and that generator is pointed straight out the back. You very, very seldomly will smell it. Like you'll smell the fumes, like very seldomly, but I can close the doors up if I had for some reason. But the reason you don't normally have that is you're on the hook and the wind's usually blowing you, right? So it's taking the fumes away as a general rule. Although you could, that could happen. Morning from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Y'all pretty landlocked out there, eh? Very sorry about your brother. Thank you, Eric. Got gremlins on your boat. Yep. That's actually what I was saying. It's something heat related, because whenever it heats up is when it does it. So it's probably going to be something fairly simple. I've already started doing some research on it, so we'll see. I'll let you know. Good morning there. Going to be a good weekend here in San Diego. Cool. Probably one of the few places I've been to. Let me tighten this up. That's why that thing keeps moving. Yeah, there it goes. San Diego, I did a shark dive actually. Y'all see this shirt? I went on that boat and we flew into San Diego, did a great white shark dive, cage dives. I'd like to do that video, but my darn external hard drive that I've got all that on quit working. All that content, and if anybody knows a good source on how to recover that content, let me know. But I went online, and searched, and some of these places they want like $1,500 to recover the content. It's unbelievable. But anyways, I was out San Diego. We flew into San Diego. What a beautiful place, man. We rode around, rented a couple of those little Lime scooters and rode around, and I didn't realize how hilly it was out there, to be honest with you. And then we took a boat, a van ride down to Ensenada, Mexico, which is where the boat was moored. And man, what a good time. What a good time. If you ever want to dive with the great whites, that's what an adventure. Wow. Definitely was one of my bucket list items. Good morning from Salt Springs, Florida. RC. Good morning from Karlskrona, Sweden. All right, good morning. Morning, Mike. What is your first boat and where did you get her? Let me think back. Okay. First boat was a sport craft. I think it was a 21 little cuddy cabin. There's a story behind this one. And I bought it. I'll be honest, I can't remember exactly. It was somewhere down the West Coast near Fort Myers, but I don't know 100%. But so I drove down there, and the forward gear in the out drive was messed up. So there was a boat ramp about a half a mile away. I can't remember. So I had to back it all the way around. I had got a trailer, and I backed it all the way around and got it up on the trailer. Took it back to Polk County. It took me probably, I don't know, 6 months to a year, and I redid the carpet inside. I brand new out drive, which back then is about $1,000, brand new. And finally got that on there, and let's see, done a bunch of other things inside the cabin. I mean, I really did a lot of work on that boat, a lot of work. I took it out in the lakes locally just a couple times, stayed overnight, all preparation up to a big, adventure. And we went to Enclote State Park over on the West Coast in Tarpon Springs, and where's 3 other firemen, their boats, and one of my buddies, he liable to be watching on here, and I backed my boat into the water, got it off the trailer, and I would usually go over and crank it and let it run, and I knew when it warmed up because the idle would start coming up. So I backed mine off, pushed it back so my buddy could put his sailboat in. He had a cool little sailboat. He put it in, and I think my other buddy was already in by then. And I heard the motor revving up. I was helping him get his sailboat in. And I turned around, I walked back, and I got in the boat, and it was kind of like, but much smaller, the style of like Kontiki. And when I stepped inside with the cover, and just about the time I put my hand on the steering wheel and went to lower down the throttle, the cowling, it had a cowling over the engine compartment in the back, blew open, and fire just blew up out of there. And long story short, that sucker burned through the water line right there, right on our maiden voyage. I bet you I probably had $1,000 worth of brand new gear, like camping gear, rods and reels, all this time, all that work I'd done and building up, and we were going to go out to the island and stay for a couple of days. That sucker burned to the water line right there. So I laugh, but that night, it was supposed to be nice and cool, and that's why we were going to go. And the darn front pushed further down, and it was like 30 degrees. And the guys stayed on their boats, freezing their butts off. They weren't prepared for that, didn't have anything for heat. And we went to the Holiday Inn. That's how I always say, we were chilling at the Holiday Inn. Next day I came back, got the trailer. It broke the trailer because the boat was full with water, obviously. Had pulled it up to the dock. Excuse me, let me take that back. I must have got my story wrong. That night we got it up on the trailer and pulled it up on land. The only thing that was any good was the outdrive. It had a brand new outdrive. Everything else was burned up inside. Everything. It wasn't anything salvageable. And we pulled it up in the park, left it there, went to the Holiday Inn, came back the next morning. Guess what was missing off that boat? The outdrive. Somebody got it overnight. Overnight, somebody got the brand new outdrive. So the fire investigator working the case, I swear I think he thought I did it, and I was a fireman at the time. And he called me and questioned me, and then after about the fourth time calling me and questioning me, he's asking me, every time he asked me about the outdrive like I took it off or something. And finally at the end I got mad and I said, I can't remember exactly, but basically saying, what do you think I did it? You think I took the outdrive and whatever. But long story short, nothing. And I was insured, so I did get my money out of the boat, so at least that, and it wasn't a total loss. But that was my first one. Nice boat though, sport craft. I don't think they make them anymore. 21 sport craft, nice boat. Do the city docks have pump outs? Yes, most of them do. Almost all marinas do. Almost. And familiar with how that schedule works, you basically can pull up to almost any. Actually, in the state of Florida, and I'm going to do some more research on it, but I know that in most cases the pump outs are actually state funded pump outs, and they do them. It's probably a grant through the marina gets to put them in, because the state doesn't, obviously has a interest in not having you pump into the water, so they usually pay to have them put in, and then the marinas can charge you, I think, $5 or something like that. But a lot of people don't know that. But yeah, you can go to most marinas. Almost every, for sure, city marinas or any municipal marinas are going to have them for sure. So it's easy to get a pump out. All right, good morning from Hackers Island. I'm going to wrap this up here, y'all. Tramps said, sorry, the older we get, yep, the more we have to deal with, for sure. He's lost a couple of good friends over the past 2 years. Sorry to hear that. Yep, that's what happens. Mike just watched your short battle with a wasp trying to unhook the power plug. Mother Nature's obstacles. Yep, thank you, Christopher. All right, guys. Let's see. Good morning. Good morning, Andrew. Hope to see y'all when we leave from Florida. You definitely will here shortly, very, very shortly. I'll tell Marty y'all said hi. Good morning. Culture, Lifestyle, and Travel. Good morning. Hi from Texas. Halifax River Yacht Club. Yep. If you do find time to Daytona meetup, just a couple of miles from where the river is. All right, so I'm just saying, if things go well, there's a dock north of here, which is where we're going to try to get to. Something Creek is, I forget the name of it, but if we do make it up there where we can do a quick little meetup, I'll put it out here, and also on any of the people that have sent emails, you'll know it. Yeah, Chuck says, wow, boating really gives you better and crazier stories than any other hobby. It's true. I'm telling you, it is true. Every trip, and here's an interesting thing, and I'm going to close it out with this. If, for instance, on this trip, you usually remember all the crazy stuff that happened, the challenges. You remember all them. Obviously, the boat burning. obviously anything like that, you'll remember very well in detail all of that, and you'll have stories for the rest of your life to tell. And that's just, that's just the way it is. So like, if we were just, when we're traveling, we don't really, although y'all know I do try to live stream some of our travels, and I plan on doing more of that with the phone, this new phone. But um, if you're just moving along and everything is hunky dory and nothing happens, it gets boring after a while. I'll tell you, it gets boring. Now that's where you look forward to getting to where you're going, dropping the hook, whatever. But when these challenges happen, it's interesting, and it gives you stories to tell. So um, you don't want too many. It gets old if you just steady fighting. That's why we're trying to get Marty squared away. That can get you, because you just over and over problems and problems and problems. But I think we're pretty close on him, so I'm interested to talk with him this morning and see what's happening. Hopefully we solved this water leaking issue, and then I think he's good, and I bet you I'm gonna solve mine here fairly quickly. But anyways, guys, I appreciate y'all's support. Remember, this content is not always going to be free. Get your mug at michaeljsteen.com, and $69 a year, and you're good to go. And there's going to be, I'm definitely going to try to do more and more content for y'all. So some behind the scenes stuff. Definitely the when we're just traveling, and I live stream it, so that's kind of pretty cool. But got some interesting things. So appreciate y'all coming along. Thank you so much for your support, and I will we'll try to redo our live at 5. We'll figure out like where we are and what we're doing, and so we'll let you know as soon as we know. Talk to you soon. Y'all have a great day. Remember, good times, it's a state of mind.